Hey everyone, it's your friend TechnoCat, and today we are jumping into Unit 4 of Karel, which is if statements. Uh, Now we went into Superkill on for loops. Well, we finished it up, and today I'm gonna try to finish the entirety of if statements. Okay, so might be a bit quick, but don't worry, I'll take my time to explain everything that you need to know. So let's jump right in. And I've decided that the next course after this will be HTML, so be ready for that. And let's begin. So we have a start function here, and we have an if statement here. Now, if statement is like a way to make things happen under certain conditions. So basically here, Carol is like a bit behind a hurdle. And now, what this is telling her is to move once, and then if the front is clear, she is going to move. Now the way this works is that let me write down here. If so inside the parentheses you're gonna put the conditional, what you want to be true or false, or yeah, if. So if let's say we can go into our documentation to check the conditions. So let's say that if no balls are present, if no balls present. Ooh, that did not have to go like that. If no balls present, yep. If no balls present, then maybe Carol should put down a ball. Now, after we run this, like I said, the computer's first gonna check, Carol's first gonna check if there are balls present. And as we stated, if there are no balls, then she is going to put down a ball. So going back up to the main piece of code that we already had, and if we run it, Carol is going to move once and then check if the front is clear. But since she's here and there's a hurdle here, that means that the front is not clear, so she is not going to move. Okay? If statements are very important, okay? You're going to need them a lot, especially in stuff that you want Carol to automate herself even more. You are going to need these if statements. So let's jump into the next thing, which is another, yeah, there we go, save take ball. So this is exactly what I was just talking about. This is inside of a function, the save take ball. So if there's a ball present, Carol's gonna take ball. So here she's in the starting position, and as you can see in the start function, the first thing that she's gonna do is save take ball. So she's gonna check for like if there's a ball in her position, but since there isn't, she's not gonna take anything. Then she's gonna move, and then she's gonna do another save take ball. After she does that, she's gonna after she moves, she's gonna be here, and then she's gonna check if there's a ball, and since there is a ball, she should take it. So first she checks if there's a ball, and nope, so she moves, and then she takes that ball. Okay? Pretty easy stuff. It's literally like if this happens, no, like if this is true, then do this. Okay? So here we have our start function. And Carol should put a ball on the first spot if there isn't one already there, and then move. So there's two worlds here. Now, here we could easily just make it I don't know, move, because we know that there's only like a ball there. Only problem is that this is not true for this world. There is no ball left behind. And this is where if statements start to shine out. So to make this work across different worlds, to make this work across different templates, you are going to have to use an if statement. So we're going to write it right here. If, what was the documentation again? If, there you go. If balls present, then Carol is gonna move. Now, if balls, oops, no balls present, Carol is gonna put ball. Now here's the problem. Yeah, wait, let me delete this. So Carol's gonna check if there's no balls present, and if there is no balls present, then she's gonna put a ball. And after she does that, we need her to move. So that should work for... oh. Oh yeah, this, oof, really big mistake here. Really a rookie mistake, but a really big mistake here. So, there you go. Now let's try to see if it works on the other world. And it does. Okay, we fully automated this to work across any world, whether there is a ball in the starting position or not. Now, if I wanted to extend this, if I wanted to, like, okay, now check in the second spot, the same thing, I can simply store this into a function. And then paste it there. And then whenever I want to call it again, oops, I think I need to delete this. And now, if I wanted to repeat it again and again, I can just put ball and then check it another time. Okay. And now, oof. Rookie mistake once again. So now, if there would have been another ball here, which in this case there wasn't, she's going to put another ball down. Now, we don't need the second one, okay? My point here is that thanks to the f functions, we can start doing things under certain conditions instead of having to tell Karel where exactly she's going to do it. Because let's say that we didn't know where exactly there is a ball or not. Maybe we want Karel to just move forward, and each time that she moves forward, check if there is a ball or not, okay? So, if statements, very important. But that should be it for this part of the unit. So now, if else statements. This also ties into the if statements, and these are also very important. So this is the same thing. This part is the same thing. The if front is clear, move. But now there's a little thing added here, the else. This is going to tell Karel that if this is not true, then she's going to do this code. Okay? So it's like you got two gates, and then here in the middle you're just going to check if a certain condition is true. And if it is true, you're going to go left. And if it is wrong or incorrect, you're going to go right. You can look at it like a train track that's split into two. You can look at it as, I don't know, two paths that you need to decide. But you decide based on if this is true. Okay? So now, if we run this code, Karel is going to move, check if it is clear, and if it isn't clear, she's going to turn left. Now, to make this actually work or something, like to go across the hurdle, you could do if front is clear, then move. Else, turn left, or we can just make another function called, jump hurdle. And then that's turn left, move, turn right, move, turn right, move, turn left. Now, if we just write here instead, jump hurdle. It's going to check if the front is clear, and then since it isn't, it's going to prompt Karel to jump across the hurdle. Now here I think I got an extra move. There you go. As I said, let's say that we didn't know how many hurdles there were. In that case, we can just repeat this code. Okay? And now if I press run again, Karel's going to keep checking forward. But yeah, because of the jump hurdle thing, it doesn't really work. But if it didn't have it, if this last one was in an else statement, oops. Oof, my bad. So, there you go. As I said, if there would have been a hurdle like here in the middle, Carol knows now that she has to jump. If this would have had different worlds where we don't know, or we do know, but it's like very separate, and they want you to do the exact same thing for several of them, then you might want to use an if else statement. So Carol checks herself if she should jump or what should she do. So let's jump onto the next one. Um, Next up, we have another example. One ball in each spot. We have 3 worlds. And this is what I was talking about. We have 3 worlds, and we need to make one piece of code that works for all 3 of them. So what you're going to want to do here, like this one, the starting code that we have, it has a check ball. If no balls are present, then put ball. There you go. Now, if I go into another world, what they want here is for Carol to fill the entire bottom row with balls. So, there's an easier way to do this, actually. There's an easier way to do this with an if-else statement. Okay? So, we're going to delete this function. And then up here, we're going to make we're gonna make that okay, so here's the thing. Here's something that we have an advantage here. All 3 of these worlds have 4 spaces, like 4 places in the x-axis that Carol can be. So this means that to fully automate this, we can make a for loop. Yeah, that from the last unit. So remember var I equals 0, semicolon, I less than 4, semicolon, I plus plus. And now after this, we can make Carol do an if statement. If balls not... Oh, wait, I forgot how this one... Now, don't worry about learning every single piece of code. You're going to use your documentation for literally any language. So, if there's no balls present... No, actually, Carol has to check up first. Carol has to check up front if there's a wall or not, so to see if it is safe to move. So if front is clear, then she's gonna put a ball, and then she's gonna move. Else, so if the front is not clear, okay, no, this actually does not work. It does have to be based on the balls. So if balls present, move. Else, so if there are, oops, I wrote that with parentheses. So if there are not balls present, then you're gonna put a ball. And then after that, you might want to check if front is clear. Move. Let's try to run this. Oh yeah. This happens a lot. Don't worry about it. So first, Carol checks if the balls are present. And then she moves. And there you go. That worked for one ball spot. Now let's try it here. That worked for one ball spot too. And it should also work for this one. So you see, here we put into practice the for loops because we have a set amount of space that Carol is going to go through. And then we also put in an if else statement, but we put an if statement inside of the else statement. You can put as many of these nested in each other. Even, in fact, inside of this if else statement, I could write another else, and then, oops, and then simply put another if else statement here. There is no limit to the amount of if-else statements that you can nest in each other, and that is very useful. So just keep that in mind. So let's continue into the exercise, and then we're going to have 4.3 left. So we got facing south and facing west. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have Carol check where she is facing and then make her face east. So the whole point of this is that she needs to face east. Okay, you don't have any code in your start function. Carol got spun around and is facing the wrong direction. Carol could either be facing south or west. You need to get Carol back to facing east. So let's begin. If Carol, okay, no, you don't need to. Wait, let me check the documentation. So here's another thing. We only have two things that could happen. We only have if Carol could be facing south or if she could be facing west. So there's actually several ways to do this. Let's go through the first one. So the first one is to do it individually, because we know there's only two that could happen, facing south and facing west. So first we're going to do if facing south, then she's going to have to turn left. And then we can just do another one if facing what? West? If facing west. Yep, yeah, facing west. So west, she has to turn right 2 times. Turn right. Turn right. So now, oh yeah, this again. I'm so sorry, but this happens to me so much. So this is one way to do it. Okay, it works in the facing south, and it works in the facing west. But there's a simpler way to do it, or simpler at least in my head. So what you're gonna want to do here is that this is gonna make it true even if she's facing, let's say, north, or if she's already facing east and you don't want her to turn around. Okay, so we're basically gonna put if assignment. So we need her to face east. So if she is not facing east, then you're gonna make her turn left. And that should literally fix it for all of them. Oops. Yeah, that's not how it should go. I accidentally did this with like a while loop in my head because there should be while not facing it. We'll get into while loops later. So yeah, my bad. I was thinking about doing with a while loop. So instead, an easier way that we could do this could be if not facing east, then turn left, and then check again. Wait. If not facing east, turn left, and then once again check. If not facing east, turn left. And then you can check it a third time. Because, no. At most, if she's facing north, she's going to turn left twice. Yeah, no. You need at least a third time, okay? So, if not facing east, turn left. Now this code is going to work for any type of facing. She could be facing south, she could be facing west, and it will make Karel face east. Now, when we get into while loops, this is going to be way much simpler. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, and let's jump to the last part of if else statements. So this is just a little bit of debugging and then reflection, which we might skip. So face the right direction. So what happens here is that first of all there's like indentation space, and why not? If you run the code, Karel ends up turning left, and what we need her to be doing is, wait, this is pretty odd. Karel is playing a game. Karel wins by facing the correct direction based on whether or not a ball is on the spot. If Karel is on a ball, then Karel should face south. If Karel is on a ball, then Karel should face west. Karel will always start facing east. So this is very easy. Okay? If Karel is on the ball, she should face south, and if she's not, then she should face west. Now, first mistake here. You know what? I'm actually not going to do this. Okay? I'm actually not going to say the mistakes. I'm going to pause the video for a second. You should pause the video for a second, sorry. And then try to see where the mistake is, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I hope you got it. So, first mistake here is that this shouldn't be here. There's literally no reason for there to be a curly bracket here. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And it should actually be here. And that automatically fixes the entire indentation problems. So now, code-wise, if Karel, yeah, there, that's, oof. So first it checks if no balls are present, then it turns right. And then else it turns around. But first of all, turnaround is not even defined. Even in the super Karel, turnaround is not a function that Karel already has. So let's start with that, okay? Function, turn around. And now here you can do this either with 2 turn lefts or 2 turn right, but I honestly prefer the 2 turn right. Oops. And now, let's try it again. Okay, let's see if anything changes. So, let's recap the rules. If there is no ball, then Karel should face east. If there is a ball, should face south. So please, let's change this first for the sake of understanding. If there is a ball, then she should face south. So if balls are present, then she should face south. The problem is that, oh wait, Karel will always start facing east. So if she's facing east and she needs to turn south, then she has to turn right, like it says here. Now, else, so if there are no balls present, that means that she is facing east once again, but there is no ball. So she needs to face west. So now that the turnaround function is actually defined, the code should work. Okay, so it works for world 2, and it works for world 1. Great. So now the last assignment, a bit of debugging as well. So, fetch the puzzle. Karel is playing fetch. Karel will start either facing east or facing west, so it could be either east or west. That's something to take note of. If Karel starts facing east, then that means that there is a ball one space in front of Karel that Karel needs to get. If Karel does not start facing east, so if she's facing west, but instead start facing west, yep, then Karel needs to check if there is a ball in the starting spot. If there is a ball, then Karel needs to pick it up. Karel then needs to turn around and face east. Whether or not there is a ball, Karel needs to end facing east. Karel should always end facing east. Karel should always pick up the ball if there is one, and make sure solution works on every Karel world, which there is 3 of them. All right, seems complex enough, but let's start. Okay, once again, there's this line of code. Here's the assignment. Knock yourself out. Pause the video, and I will be right back. Okay. Well, guys, we're back, and I hope you found the mistakes. So, I've actually not even run the code myself, so let's try to go through the entire thing. So if we press run, that should probably not happen. What about in the second row? Okay, it works there. and it works there as well. So it works in world 3 and world 1. So let me recheck the assignment again. So if facing east, that means that there's a ball one space ahead that Carol needs to get. So yeah, move and take ball. This seems okay. If Carol does not start facing east, that means that she's facing west. Then Carol needs to check if there is a ball in the starting spot. If there is a ball, the Carol needs to pick it up. Okay, let's go like piece by piece. So if there is a ball, Carol needs to pick it up. So once again, this is assuming that she's facing west. So check if there is a ball in the starting spot. So if ball is present, then you shouldn't be taking a ball. If no balls present, there we go. If no balls are present, wait, did I write that wrong? No balls present. Okay, that's okay. There you indentation. So once again, assignment. If Kurt does not face, so she's facing west. Then needs to check if there's a ball in the starting spot. So if no balls are present. Wait, yeah, no, this was right before. If ball's present, then she needs to take ball. So yeah, there's a ball starting. If there is a ball, then Karen needs to pick it up. Then Karen needs to turn around and face east. So here's the thing. If there are balls present, this part is okay. This part is fine. You know? Only thing is that I think that this should be an if-else statement. Because since there's only two things that could apply here. Wait, else, if. There you go. Since there's only two things that could happen here. Wait, else. So yeah, as I said, so if she's facing east, which is one of the things that she could be doing, this is okay. Oops. And if she's not facing east, that means that she's facing west. So else, if there's balls present, then she's gonna take the ball. That's in the starting spot. And then if there is no balls present, well, no, even if there is balls present, she needs to turn around. But turn around is not defined. So we need to make the function turn around. And then turn right. Turn right. And now that should work. Okay, so it works there. It works in world 1. Works in world 3. And it works in world 2. So there we go. We're not going to do this reflection thingy, so don't worry about it. So on the next episode, we should be getting into while loops. After that, it's just control structures, challenges, and that's going to be it for Karel. So if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, share, comment any questions you have. Share this to anybody that is interested in coding or computers that they want to start out. This actually might be really good for like middle school kids, elementary kids, because Karel is really good at introducing you into what JavaScript would actually end up looking like for the most part. So remember, just leave a like, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.